What happens when a goddess must face the darkest labyrinth of all, her own mind? When wisdom itself becomes the enemy, and truth transforms into the deadliest illusion? This is the story of Athena's greatest battle, one she almost lost. In the realm where gods walk among mortals, there existed a power beyond lightning, beyond the seas, beyond even death itself, the power of pure wisdom, and it belonged to her. She rises before burning gates, silver armor reflecting flames that dance like fallen stars. At her brow an amethyst pulses with celestial light, each heartbeat connecting her to cosmic consciousness. This is no ordinary gem. This is the crown of wisdom, forged in the fires of Zeus's mind, awakened in the thunder of divine birth. I did not come to join your war, I came to end it. The words cut through chaos like blade through silk. Radiant energy erupts from her crown chakra, waves of power washing over the battlefield. Even gods hold their breath. Even fate itself pauses to listen. But this victory would be merely the prologue to a much greater battle. For at the edges of the mortal world, something terrible was happening. In the depths of a forgotten citadel's ruins, where hope goes to die, a young prince lies chained in eternal darkness. Not just any prince, but Lysander of Athens, the last of the royal lineage, who had once built a temple in honor of Athena herself. His eyes, once bright with dreams and devotion, now reflect only hollow despair. Eris, goddess of discord, circles him like a predator savoring her prey. She had chosen this prince specifically, knowing his fall would make Athena suffer. For when those who honor us fall into disgrace, our very essence is shaken. Tell me, little prince, Eris whispers, her voice like breaking glass, where is your goddess of wisdom now? What good is devotion when the gods allow you to suffer? What value does truth hold when lies feel so much sweeter? Her laughter scrapes against stone walls, each echo planting seeds of doubt that bloom into madness, and each seed that sprouted was a direct affront to Athena's power. From Olympus, watching through divine sight, Athena feels something she has never known before. Not just anger at the affront, but something deeper, more disturbing: uncertainty. For if she could not protect those who trusted in her, what kind of goddess of wisdom was she really? The oracle had prophesied this would be her greatest trial. The goddess who seeks wisdom must first traverse the valley of her own ignorance. Only when she faces what she most fears about herself will her true nature be revealed. This is how Athena finds herself before the obsidian portal leading to the realm of eternal illusions. This is not a physical place, but a manifestation of cosmic doubt itself, where even gods can be lost forever. The labyrinth emerges before her, like a wound in reality itself. Ancient stones pulse with intertwined energies, her own golden essence mixed with Eris's primordial darkness. Here paths change the moment you step. Here walls vanish the instant you turn. Here your greatest strength becomes your greatest weakness. This labyrinth does not bind the body, it binds the mind, and the greater the mind, the greater the prison. Athena enters, and immediately feels the weight of millennia of accumulated wisdom pressing against her chest like invisible mountains. The air thickens with the very doubts she has suppressed for eons. Whispers rise around her, not voices of others, but echoes of her own darkest thoughts multiplied into infinity. The first challenge emerges as a gallery of infinite mirrors, but these mirrors do not reflect her form. They reflect her failures. Dozens of versions of Athena speak simultaneously, each one reminding her of a questionable decision, a moment of uncertainty, a battle that could have been won differently. You chose Odysseus, but how many died for his cunning? You gave wisdom to mortals, but they used it for war. You pride yourself on purity, but it's just fear of vulnerability. Doubt everything, trust only doubt, turn back now before it's too late. The danger of illusion was not its lies, but the poison hidden within its half-truths. Each reflection carried a grain of reality that made the doubt even more corrosive. Athena feels her knees weaken. For one terrible moment the voices almost convince her. Perhaps she really wasn't worthy. Perhaps her wisdom was merely disguised arrogance. Perhaps, but then she remembers the words she always repeated to mortals. Illusion may deceive the eyes, but it can never deceive the light that resides in the heart. She closes her eyes, allowing the amethyst to pulse in sync with the primordial rhythm of the cosmos. The reflections shatter, breaking into fragments of crystalline energy that dance in the air before dissolving into pure light. The second challenge awaits her further ahead, a well of black waters that shimmer under spectral light. But these are not ordinary waters. They are the tears of all those she failed to protect throughout the millennia. The surface reflects not her image, but the faces of every mortal who cried out for her help and was not answered. Among them, Lysander's face stands out, young and full of faith, praying in her temple years ago. Great Athena, his voice echoes from the depths, I built this temple with my own hands. I dedicated my life to the wisdom you represent. Why did you abandon me when I needed you most? The waters begin to churn, and from their depths emerge other voices, other faces, soldiers who died following strategies she inspired, scholars who went mad seeking knowledge she promised, children who prayed for protection that never came. Your wisdom is merely disguised pride. The voices unite in accusatory chorus. You keep your distance because you cannot bear to see the consequences of your actions. You are not a goddess of wisdom. You are a goddess of cowardice. Athena feels something she hasn't experienced in millennia, genuine guilt. The accusations find echo in parts of herself she had buried deeply. Perhaps there was truth in them. Perhaps her divine nature was just an excuse for indifference. But then in the turbulent waters, she sees something more. She sees Lysander not just praying but studying. She sees the soldiers not just dying, but choosing to fight for something greater than themselves. She sees the scholars not going mad, but transcending the limits of mortal understanding. An illusion doesn't need to defeat you, she whispers to herself. It just needs to make you forget the whole truth, focusing only on the pain. But true trust is not in what the eyes see, but in what the heart knows to be real. Golden energy spreads over the well and the waters calm. In the now peaceful depths, she sees the complete truth. Yes, there were failures. There was pain. There were unintended consequences. But there was also inspiration, growth, transcendence. There were mortals who became better versions of themselves through the challenges she allowed them to face. When doubt is illuminated by complete truth, not partial truth, genuine wisdom finally emerges. But the labyrinth saved its cruelest challenge for last. Ahead, time itself contorts into cosmic impossibility. A colossal hourglass of black crystal floats in the air, but its grains do not fall downward. They flow in all directions simultaneously. Past, present, and future mix in chaotic dance. She sees herself being born from Zeus's head, sees her future battles, sees possibilities that never materialized, sees versions of herself that made different choices. Time is the final illusion, a voice that is both hers and Eris's echoes from all directions. You cling to what was, worry about what will be, and completely lose what is. Your wisdom is built on the sand of time that slips between your fingers. You cannot save the prince because it's already too late. You cannot save anyone because time makes everything futile. Athena sees 1,000 futures where she fails, where she arrives too late, where her wisdom proves inadequate. She sees the prince aging in chains, sees Athens falling, sees wisdom itself being forgotten by mortals. The weight of all possibilities threatens to crush her. How to choose the right path when all paths lead to some form of loss. How to act with wisdom when time transforms all wisdom into obsolescence. But then a revelation emerges like dawn. After the longest night, when the heart becomes still, when it stops fleeing from the present to take refuge in what was or what will be, illusion has nowhere to hide. When the heart beats in harmony with the eternal rhythm of the cosmos, time ceases to be prison and becomes dance. She focuses on the amethyst at her brow, but this time she doesn't seek its power. She seeks its stillness. The gem stops pulsing frantically and finds the slow, deep, eternal rhythm of existence itself. The hourglass shatters into 1,000 fragments that dissolve like mist in the wind. True wisdom is not in conquering time, but in finding the eternal within the temporal.